You might not expect that a group of soft, fluffy kittens would melt the heart of a construction worker and take over his bulldozer, but that's what happened at a recent building project. A man operating his bulldozer at a construction site had parked the vehicle to eat lunch. As soon as he cut off the engine and removed his protective earplugs, he was surprised to hear the sounds of meowing kittens. The man jumped out of the bulldozer and looked around. Soon, he spotted some tiny kittens near the base of a tree by the side of the road. Their mother was nowhere in sight. The bulldozer operator realized that the kittens might die if they remained at the construction site to fend for themselves. Coyotes and hawks routinely patrol the area, so the little feline babies would become a snack if the man didn't rescue them. What's more, the kittens looked like they were starving. They might even be sick or injured. The man knew he had to act fast. These kittens needed to get to a veterinarian as soon as possible. He plucked up the kittens and carried them into the cab of his bulldozer. But almost immediately, the man started sneezing violently. His eyes began to water. Unfortunately, the bulldozer operator happens to be allergic to cats. That meant he couldn't risk putting these rescued kittens on the seat next to him in the bulldozer. Otherwise, his eyes would become so irritated that he wouldn't be able to see where he was driving. That would be a violation of his oath to be a safe bulldozer operator. Not wanting to abandon the little kittens, he decided the best option was to place them inside the scoop of his bulldozer. That way, the fluffy creatures would be far enough away from him to stop triggering his allergic reaction as he drove them to the vet. This is a rural community, so it's common for bulldozers, tractors, and other heavy equipment to ride down these country roads at a very slow pace. The man called a local veterinarian to let her know that some pitiful abandoned kittens were about to come into her office. This construction worker is not alone in his sneezing reaction to the kittens. About 10 to 20% of people suffer from cat allergies, according to the National Library of Medicine. It turns out that the bulldozer operator's allergic reaction to cats may actually have something to do with the slow loris, which is the world's only venomous primate. A slow loris will lick a toxin-secreting gland on its arm to mix with its saliva. This allows the slow loris to deliver poisonous bites when fighting other animals. Researchers discovered that the proteins in the saliva of the slow loris are identical to a cat dander allergen that causes allergic reactions in people, according to a report from the journal Toxins. Cats secrete a protein whose scientific name is FeLD1 in their saliva. When cats lick themselves to get clean, they transfer the FeLD1 protein to their fur. So when people pet a cat and come into contact with FeLD1, they can start having allergic reactions, including sneezing, coughing, and itchy, watery eyes. More than 350,000 cat-sensitive people visit the emergency room annually in the United States to be treated for asthma attacks, according to the latest statistics from the journal Asthma and Lower Airway Disease. But the slow loris saliva proteins may not be responsible for the bulldozer operator's allergic reaction to the kittens he rescued. This ability to trigger an allergy as a weapon might not be something restricted to slow lorises, but may have separately evolved in cats at the same time, according to Dr. Brian Fry. He's doing research at Sikananga Wildlife Center in Indonesia and plans to test the hypothesis of an evolutionarily independent ability for cats to trigger allergies with their saliva. You might be surprised to learn that more people suffer from cat allergies than dog allergies. This is because the proteins from cats that cause allergic reactions are smaller than allergenic proteins from dogs. So they stay floating in the air longer, giving more of an opportunity for people to breathe them in than the heavier dog proteins. Some people love cats so much, they will undergo immunotherapy treatments to get rid of their allergic reactions, allowing a feline to move into their home. Another approach is to use genetic engineering to develop a cat that doesn't produce allergens in the first place. To that end, scientists are testing CRISPR biotechnology to edit a cat's genes. CRISPR stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeat, and is a technique that allows you to alter DNA in living creatures. A US-based biotechnology company called Inbio is using a CRISPR gene editing system on cats to block the allergy-provoking FELD1 protein in feline saliva. If the genetic engineering project is successful, pet owners would no longer have to take allergy medicine to live in harmony with their cats. As soon as the Bulldozer and Kittens arrived at the animal clinic, the vet heard the noise of the vehicle and ran outside to greet them. She performed medical exams and ordered comprehensive laboratory tests for each kitten. It turned out that the kittens were all in good shape, except for being a bit hungry and dehydrated. Since the Bulldozer operator could not adopt the kittens because of his severe allergies, the vet agreed to bring them to a farmer about 15 miles away. The farmer always had room for more cats, and told the vet that he certainly could use a few assistants to keep mice away from his grain. The moral of the story is, bulldozers can be tools for good as well as instruments for evil. While it is true that some bulldozers are employed by insane dictators to dig mass graves, to swallow up entire populations of their enemies, in other cases, bulldozers can be used for wholesome construction projects to house peaceful, hard-working families, and to rescue innocent, allergy-provoking kittens who have become lost and cannot find their parents.